Hello, Get Wrecked Tubers, and welcome back to Let's Play Super Link to the Past Metroid. I don't know, something like that. With me, BlueAnkylo. Look, I don't always have a great combination of words for this crossover randomizer mashup. Anyway, hey guys, how's it going? Last episode, we finally broke through relatively well into, Super Metroid. We finally got some power bombs and, you know, figured out how to get into Meridia and all that stuff. So I'm feeling pretty good. You know, I'm not feeling nearly as lost as I used to be. It should be a relatively simple job. I should have gone this way first because I already used a power bomb and I could have just gone right through here. But anyway, I feel like, I mean, I would really love to get a few items for Super Metroid, Speed Booster specifically, and Speed Booster Varia and normal bombs, maybe even just Spring Ball or something like that, so that I feel more comfortable about not getting like soft locked in rooms that I normally can just bomb out of. But other than that, which may or may not happen depending on my luck, I feel like I'm in a pretty good spot now, and there shouldn't be too many more horrible bottlenecks in this series. But you never know. You never know. This could deal a lot of damage to us because we don't have various suits, so the spikes will do like, I think straight up 100 damage if we get crushed by them in this room. So just give me a second here while I concentrate. Now, gravity suit makes it easier in another sense because it's, you know, the water doesn't mess you up. But if you get pounded by the dropping spikes, I think it's a full energy tank. So if you get into a bad sort of stun lock combo, you can die pretty quick. Anyway, we sort of checked this room earlier, but I had not killed Fantoon, so the power was not on, and we could not get whatever juicy treasure is over here, which is a quarter of a heart. Well, let's update what we got, because it's very important to keep track. Now, of course, if we don't find the speed booster in Wreck Ship, there is one item that we won't be able to finally, like, we won't be able to tick off everything. Just like Meridia, where we're going to be stuck with one or two items we couldn't fully clear. Seems like that's the par for the course in the Metroid game. In the Link to the Past randomizer, that doesn't happen very often. There's not a lot of places where you can do half of the area, but not the whole area, unless you come back later with the item. So it's just sort of the nature of how Super Metroid blocks off areas. Unfortunately, it means it's a fair bit of backtracking, potentially. We never got an early flute or, like, the chicken teleporting in Zelda, so we've kind of had a bit of a slow getting around the world map kind of thing, because we never got our teleporting. Which would have sped a lot of this up. I could have... just would have been a lot easier. Not to say this has been incredibly difficult. We did get the screw attack and the space jump really early. And the blue armor instantly at the very beginning of the game. So we've had more defenses and mobility items than some random players might have. I believe the plasma gun will shoot these guys back about as fast as you can shoot them back, so that'll save us a little bit of time. Maybe super missiles would go faster, but... what's our item? You know what? I don't even care. It's a quarter of a heart. It's not worth it to go waste my time. I don't feel like quarter hearts are, at this point in the game, valuable enough. You'll forgive me, but we're not going to be worrying about 100%, because we've long since given up on that. There's too many areas that we just can't get to without spending a lot of backtracking to get 100% in these. Such a huge crossover randomizer. So one thing that theoretically I could do, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to. You could check an item over here, but I don't know if I can do these jumps. Now, these are like 4 blocks high. Oh, I've had the high jump boots off all this time. I forgot about that, didn't I? I should be able to make these jumps, but you know what? I don't care. Anyway, the idea is if you have bombs or something way to get through this easily, you can go have a look, because there's an item you can't get without the speed booster. But you can look at it without the speed booster, which could tell you if you need to come back, which would be very valuable information. However, if we are in the situation where we have a key item that we have to come back for, that's actually good. That'll make the end game a little bit safer. Anyway, if we get to the end, and we, is it this? Energy tank. You know what? I'll take it. Anyway, if we get to a situation where we have to, backtrack with the speed booster to get some key item, it's gonna add so much time to the Let's Play anyway that it doesn't really matter. We're gonna have to backtrack a lot of weird areas because we couldn't check all the speed booster items in Meridia either. So we'll have to sort of do a loop-de-loop of all the speed booster blocks we couldn't get. You know, there's one in Brinstar as well below the pink. There's gonna be a few that if we don't get the speed booster till late game, we're just gonna, if there is an item we're missing, it's gonna be a bit of a work to get it. And we don't have the grapple beam either, but that doesn't really matter because we got space jump. Although there is one item in Meridia that would unlock. Hey, bowling for Chozo. So while this is going on, actually I wish I can't quite, but unfortunately I tried earlier on in the series to find a way to let the emulator continue running while I switch to a different window to update the tracker. The problem was that the sound really glitched out and made some funky noises. So I didn't want to harm your ears with those sounds. I have enough power bombs to do this pretty safely, I think. We're gonna have to use a couple. I should have shot over this way first. Yeah, there's one item over here, and then there's one more further that we can't actually get. 5 arrows. I don't know. I'll get it because we're here, but not worth much. And then we'll need one more power bomb to get out of here. I'm glad we picked up the second power bomb tank. That was certainly good. Not good. Alright, so wreck ship is not cleared, but we're only missing one item. And we didn't even get a chance to see it, which is kind of sad. But now we're done with the wreck ship. We're back in Crateria, which has lots of goodies for us to do. Ice beam is nice. It's the nice beam. Come on, blue. Tappies. I'm getting old. I can't tap as fast as I used to tap. Alright, that's done. I mean, we're going to be at our ship pretty soon, so we can get... Fine. We're going to get a recharge as we go by our ship, so using a couple power bombs doesn't really make much difference. Well, I say that. I have two options here. I could go down into Brinstar to the red tower and get a bunch of stuff. Ooh! Well, that will help a lot with not wasting bombs. Okay, that is good. That is a good item. Good get. So, do we go down into red Brinstar, loop around Brinstar? I think that's the route. Well, either way, it's pretty similar overall. We either go by our ship, because I don't have speed booster either way. There's still a lot of stuff we can't get, but there's also nothing new for Link to the Past yet. We didn't get any items in here, I don't think, yet, that would open up Link to the Past areas, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, brain. But no, I don't think we got anything for Link to Past yet, so... Basically, we have to stick around in Super Metroid until we find Link to the Past progression. I do know where the hammer is. That's like the main one, but it could also be a mitt or a flute or a hook shot. There's not a whole lot of options. We're certainly not lava-proof yet. So I think I decided, like, the top of Red Brinstar has 3 items, I think. Plus we could go down and, because I forgot, or didn't have it at the time. I probably didn't have the option at the time. We haven't actually gone to X-Ray either. So there's 4 in Red Brinstar, and then there's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more at least on the way through. Yeah, we should probably do a green Brinstar tour, a green-pink Brinstar tour as well. And then even blue Brinstar has like a couple more we could get. There's just so many items. We should probably do a little bit more Super Metroid loop-de-loop. I know the hammer is in Norfair, and we have enough energy tanks now that I could probably get to it without too much trouble, but Norfair with no... Like, okay, also keeping in mind that I'm playing the mod or the combo randomizer on normal mode, I'm almost 100% positive that they would not give you a guaranteed hell run. Like, they're not going to lock the Variasuit behind something in... something that you can only get by going through Norfair, basically. So if like to get the hammer, I'm almost positive that there will be a way to get the Variasuit before we need the hammer. I think I could just screw attack through that wall. Actually, I forget. All right, so this room, you want to stand right in the middle of this tile and shoot down, and just be careful. Speed booster, thank you very much. We got it a little bit too late, so we needed the power bombs to get the speed booster, which means if you need the speed booster to go back to do I need a... No, you can just fall down. If I need the speed booster in Meridia or Wreck Ship, that's gonna suck. But it also means that the route I'm taking is good because I can get a couple more items without using Mock Ball or anything, including the energy tank in Pink Brin that you normally need gravity and speed to get. So, also always happy to have speed booster. Probably my favorite item in the game. Being able to go at super speed is just so much fun. So that'll speed things up for the Let's Play a little bit, and it'll make my life a little bit happier. Also good to have when we get down to Norfair eventually. It opens up a route to Crocomire that's a bit faster. Actually, between Speed Booster and Power Bomb, we could definitely get the hammer with 3 or 4 energy tanks. Because we don't have to do the full run, we can just take the shortcut through the Ice Beam area. We could get the Ice Beam item and head down for that pretty easily. So yeah, there's no reason not to get the hammer once we head down to Norfair now, basically, I think. I mean, other than that the game wouldn't force us to without Variasuit, so... There is a Variasuit hiding somewhere. Oh, also, I should be updating our tracker. We got that item. We haven't gone to the center of Criteria yet. There's going to be at least 2 items in there to get now. Oh yeah, an update that I got the speed booster, because this will update the tracker as well. Definitely handy for the tracker to know you can go fast. Yeah, that opens up like everything. Yeah, very, very green. We also picked that one up. Okay. Sorry, just trying to keep things organized here. We're going to have all of these items done. I wish it didn't pause the game for me to update the tracker, but because the music, you know, you guys like the music. But that was a good trick. It was just the only way I could conveniently get this working. Now, it's kind of a waste of a power bomb, but my logic is not that difficult. I've got a few power bombs. We'll probably restock on power bombs in a minute anyway, because I know where I'm going. And although I don't need a lot of ammunition, if I never get the charge beam, we do need a lot of missiles and super missiles to finish the game, basically. The odds of that are pretty slim, but, you know. Because I'm playing on normal, it should almost certainly lead me to the charge beam. Well, you know, if you do 100%, you get everything, right? But... So there's the pit that we jumped over because I still was able to do that. We got E-Tank and missiles. We'll go through the spiky area because there's one more item that's worth picking up. I think Screw Attack will make this kind of trivial. This room was always a pain early on in the game. First time through. Lots of spiky deaths. And the HP suckers. Anyway, these are the guys that teach you how to wall jump. You know, a few episodes in, I'm starting to wall jump a little bit smoother, so I'm feeling better. If you mock ball out of here, you can just zip right over that edge, but let's not talk about mock balls anytime soon. It's not like it saves you a whole lot of time, really. Alright, so nothing to the left, unless it's some sneaky transition space. Like a missile refill. So then we head into pink. May as well update map after that area. Guys, go. You know, let me know in the comments if you find those, like, what do you guys think of the tracker? I think this is a pretty good idea for the first time Let's Play of a randomizer that's perhaps not the most commonly done. Like, I don't know. I've had a few comments on this, and honestly, I've heard about it for quite a while. I have been keeping my eye on this randomizer for a while now. But I feel like it's got a bit of a relatively high learning cap, or like it's even on normal mode, there's a bit of a difficulty to get started with this thing. It's definitely more difficult than a simple one-game randomizer. It's not to say it's like way harder, but I think it's meant for people who have done both just Super Metroid randomizers and also just Link to the Past randomizers. If you've never done either, I think this would be very challenging. And even having only done like one of the other games, like even if you're really good at Super Metroid randomizers, if you've never really done a Link to the Past randomizer, this still is going to have a lot of learning for you to figure out. So anyway, another room where the wave beam's quite nice. I have heard that you can kind of cheese that with some super missiles if you know what you're doing, but we're not going to do that. So 50 rupee bucks. I don't really know how. Technically, you can kind of glitch a super missile through these pillars if it's going fast enough. So if you watch speedruns and stuff, you'll see people stand somewhere around here and kind of, you know, angle it up from about there or so, or a little bit higher. It's pretty cool. I definitely recommend watching some proper professionals speedrun them. But also, speedrunners generally don't explain what they're doing. So if you're interested in how to do these randomized crossovers, well, hopefully you're enjoying my style, which is a little bit more, this is like a bit of a blind first attempt rather than just, this is someone doing tricks that you could never do. Because that was what I always felt, is I'd watch people play these randomizers, I'm like, well, that's really cool looking, but I can't do any of the stuff you're doing, so how would this work for me? Because, like, it's one thing to see someone do a bunch of mock balls and short charges and all that stuff. It's another thing to try to do them yourself. Like, it takes a lot of practice. Hey, another bee. We got a good bee and a bad bee. Still, that's one less check done. So I think I have a cool little plot for myself here. We're gonna go up through Blue Brinstar back into Criteria, get those 2 items that are in like the early Criteria area, and then we'll take the same entrance into Upper Red Tower Brinstar that I was talking about earlier, and that means don't go that way yet. And then we'll take that down to Norfair. If we haven't found any various suits by then we'll head down to Norfair. So we picked up... Oh, don't... That's fine. It paused the game. It's good. That and that. And that. That. And we're headed this way now. And we did check the item after Sports Ball. We don't actually have it right now, but it wasn't anything important, was it? I don't remember. This is a bad room to get AFK, to be honest, because these guys are pretty tough. Open this door right here. Great, 20 rupees, and getting low on power bombs. Well, I think I only need one more to get to the room I want to get to. Yeah, we had kind of some routing decisions there. We could have ignored the blue area for now, and then headed down to the red tower again. because that is ultimately where I want to go. But I think this is a more efficient path. No. Thanks to the gravity suit, this will be a little bit easier. You can make that jump without the gravity suit, but it's a bit tricky. Not a great room. I think they call this the Billy Maze, or at least, you know, some people do. Alright, so that's done. I get smashed by a rock. Alright, so head back up. Try to save our power bombs. Now, I do have Spring Ball. Don't let me forget, I have Spring Ball. Don't need to use bombs to jump at the moment. I probably haven't used it once, and I probably already wasted power bombs. Look, give me a break. Nobody normally has Spring Ball before they have normal bombs. It's a no bomb challenge run. So yeah, we're gonna go back up, loop-de-loop one more time. That means we picked up that on the way through. We got X-Ray, the 3 at the top of Red Tower. Let's switch back to criteria while we go through this. There's 3 items. Also, I got the one here, right? Didn't I? I didn't miss that. I just forgot to check it off. It's possible we're far enough in now that I don't need to check every single item off in Super Metroid, but I feel like we've been using the tracker pretty well so far, so let's just stick with it. Come on, Blue. Show me your moves. I swear, this used to be so much easier. Must be getting old. You know what? I missed the thing I was supposed to do in there. I didn't even have to do that whole climb. I'm just showing off for no reason. The whole point of coming this way was to make sure I got all the items. Oh, but I can't. I don't have enough super missiles. Shoot. I could get the item, but I can't get out. Because I think I need at least 1 bomb to escape. I'm gonna save. I'm gonna check what it is. This would... No, I'm not. I'm gonna need like 3 power bombs to get in there. Oh, jeez, this sucks. I have to climb again. I miscounted. I didn't realize orange door plus no bombs. So that's a speed booster room that I still can't clear easily without... Dang it. That's really inefficient. If it wasn't for my lack of normal bombs, that wouldn't be a problem. Maybe we'll get some power bombs right here, and then we can do the climb 2 more times. Actually, do I even have enough bombs to do this? I think it only takes 1, assuming I can get out without using bombs. And I should be able to. Oh good, all that for 20 rupees. I'm so glad I got that 20 rupees there. There we go. Maybe I'm getting slightly better at my quick morphs. Okay, so I missed 1. That sucks. It sucks because it could be the Varia suit. And it's kind of out of my way after... That would suck. Yeah, there's definitely some problem that there's like a couple items in each area of Super Metroid that I have not cleared. You know, I'm missing like 1 thing in Criteria, like 2 things in Meridia, 1 thing in Brinstar when this is all done. Well, let's go back and get it. I'm sorry, it's a little bit of backtracky, but if this turns out to be the Varia suit, then I think you'll be glad that I came back for it. Oops, that was pretty cool. That was too far. I think I get some style points on that one, even if it was not the most effective space jump. And I did save it at my ship, right? So if this is nothing, I could just reset it. That would be smart. That would save us a little bit of time. There's a couple ways to do this room. If you're not able to do short charges, you probably want to have the ice beam, because that's going to make your life a lot nicer. You need... I guess you don't have to freeze the last one, whatever. But you need to have a speed boost. That's not worth it. Okay, so what we're going to do is reset game. So whenever you do like a hard reset, I think it always takes you back to Super Metroid. The only way to get back to the Link to the Past title screen is to quit while you're playing Link to the Past. Look at that! We saved all kinds of time. So let's check that off. No one cares. I'm pretty sure whatever was in the bomb chozo was nothing, because I never went back for it. So it's probably nothing. Alright, so there's one item in Wreck Ship. Do I want to go back and get it while I'm backtracking? We probably should. I really need to make sure we find the Various suit. If I wasn't missing such an important item that I'm pretty sure is going to be logically required to get the hammer, which is probably the next... Like, I'm assuming that the hammer is the next Link to the Past progression item, which would mean that, like, the way the randomizer is programmed is they need to give you a proper way to get the hammer, which I'm 99% sure on normal mode requires the Various suit. And there's a few places left it could be before we get back to Norfair. So while it's not a huge backtrack, let's pick up this last wrecked ship item. And I mean, with the screw attack and having opened up all the doors, it's not like this takes a whole lot of time. We already did everything else anyway, so... And I don't have to use a power bomb, because I have the spring ball. Plus 1 Ankylo point for me. Once we transition... Oh, you know what? I do have the ice beam, too. I forgot to add that in. We've got all the beams except the charge beam. And I have the spring ball. I didn't even add that in. Been forgetting. Oh, this is why no one likes doing this. You know what I should have done? I forgot about it. But now that I have the speed booster, I could have done the quick check to see what the item was, rather than doing the slow route to go get it. That would have been smart. I didn't even think about it. This is why I'm not an actual speedrunner. I could have just, in like half, not even half, probably a 10th of the time, I could have gone and seen if it was just a quarter heart or something useful. There's still quite a few useful items, though. Not a whole lot of... I mean, there's only, like, 2 more useful items for Super Metroid. Various suit is, like, mandatory. And charge beam would be quite nice. But there's, like, grapple and x-ray don't really matter. And that's pretty much it. But for Link to the Past, we're still missing, hookshot. We know where the hammer is. We might need the fire rod. We might need the cane of Birna. Half magic would be nice, but certainly probably not necessary. So what do we get? Well, you know, a bottle of medicines. Bottle of medicine. Not mandatory, that's no progression. Am I... You know, I probably could have reloaded again. Oh, right. So we actually have to, like, speed boost that. I probably could have saved and reloaded after a fail there, but it's fine. Alright, so that's done. We're going back to Criteria, and then down to Brinstar, the top of the red tower. And there's, like I said, like 4 items there, so that's a good shot at some progress. If it's not there, well, there's a couple items in Meridia we could check. 1? No, there's the 2, but we already know one of them's not it. Well, there's a couple. I guess there's 3 speed booster items, but we checked 2 of them technically. 2 different locations. And if I don't find a various suit there, then I guess we're going to Norfair with no various suit, I guess. Pretty much at that point. I mean, maybe there's something in Link to the Past that I could have done. But I feel like I don't remember picking any Link to the Past items up, other than Quake or whatever spell we got, but that's not going to do us anything. Not without a flute or a couple other things. So yeah, this was a room, even if we'd come back earlier, this room was not valuable because we didn't have the power bombs. And I didn't expect us, like, this was not why I was considering coming up to the top of Red Tower, you know, a few episodes ago, because unfortunately, I love these rooms. Escape from one chomp, get picked up by a different chomper. Alright, anyway, put it on Brinstar. That was that item. There's essentially one item when I was sort of stuck. Because this, actually, that would have sucked. So if I had come through this door from the other side, it's not orange or brown. I think it's orange, but maybe people call it brown doors. We could have gone down here without a power bomb, because this is where you normally get a power bomb. But if there was no power bomb here, we would have been trapped, I think. That's just even better, though, actually. I would have sure tried to get out of here with that. And a bigger shield. Oh yeah, wasn't there another shield somewhere? Maybe that's what was at the bomb chozo. Because I don't think I actually picked it up after resetting that time. So now that means we could probably get the mirror shield if we ever want it, by just going and quickly killing the bomb chozo. And with power bombs, we can escape that area much easier at the beginning. So that's all good. And yes, so to be fair, the Titan's Mitt is definitely progression in Link to the Past. That would let us get pretty much most of Dark World access, I think. Not everything, but most of it. Pick up those power bombs when I get the chance. So yeah, that was good. I was really happy to find that. I still might go get the hammer, even if it's technically sequence breaking. It probably is sequence breaking. You're probably supposed to get the mitt, and then use the mitt to go to a dungeon in Dark World, and then get the various suit, and then come back and get the hammer. But I don't think I need the various suit to get the hammer. This might have been a mistake coming down here. Oh no, I can just... I can stand over here and shoot. I can boost through. And we're free! You didn't have to use any more power bombs. Just gotta be aware of how many you have, like... I mean, that's something that does happen pretty often in a normal Super Metroid randomizer. You don't necessarily get normal bombs very early. I think these little light guys always drop power bombs if you need them, so yeah. But yeah, it is fairly typical to keep a count on these things. Because if you don't have normal bombs, you know, you can only break so many normal blocks, which is kind of weird. Anyway, we're back up to 8. We just needed one to escape, but you can't really get soft-locked in that room because you've got a recharging power bomb enemy that just respawns over and over again. Okay, so that's done. That's the X-ray room, which is that one, and we picked up 2. So we're only missing... Well, I didn't end up going back to pick up whatever was Words Blue, whatever was behind Spore Spawn. That was, I mean, it's possible that was a shield upgrade, which is sort of worth getting, sorta. But I know it was not a various suit at the very least. One question might be, Blue, should you go through Meridia and get those items you missed while you're here? Because you're pretty close. What does Blue say to that? Should I? If I was doing a speed run, I would skip them and hope that we could get enough items to complete this area without having to go back. But I'm not doing a speed run, so that's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the minute, and it won't take very long, to go back. And I did decide this item, just 5 misses yet. Nobody cares about 5 misses. Not enough to do the trick. It's not particularly hard, but it's a relatively specific shine spark to get that block with 5 misses. And I have a feeling it's not worth the time to set up. Unless you're going 100%. Then just go nuts. No, the reason I'm going back is because there's a speed booster block with an item that I haven't seen yet back here. Which could be something really good. Like the Various suit. Anyway, once I've seen this... Well, okay, to be fair, one sort of mistake in this situation. I could have waited to do this until I had the grapple beam. Because there's one other item in Meridia that we still don't have. And it was just missiles anyway, dang. Alright, well those two are out of the way. So that's everything except the traditional spring ball. We'll just fall down. It's probably the quickest way out of here. Because I want to head down to Norfair area anyway, so we'll just go down. But yeah, essentially we've got one item left that we might have to backtrack for. We got all wreck ship, basically all of Brinstar and Criteria. Everything left is either in Link to the Past or Norfair. Or that one item in Meridia. Which we really hope is nothing important. Like any Super Metroid speedrun of any kind, or any randomized Super Metroid speedrun, that is to say, or just any Super Metroid randomized run at all, basically hopes that that little red square on the bottom right of Meridia is nothing. Because it's a pain to get to, even with all the movement items, it's a long way off, and you need the grapple beam even to get in there, and you have to wait for the friendly monster to very slowly open up the sand passage. And if you don't have spring ball, then getting in and out is kind of a pain because vertical ball shafts. That's a word. That's a title. But you know, it's just a bit of a pain. Anyway, hopefully that's the end of Meridia, and we'll never have to come back. Let's head down. How's our time looking? 36 minutes? Oof. Getting pretty late. We have not done anything in Norfair, and you can see that basically nothing in Norfair is required. Or green, as in logically in the route. Other than that, this one item that I've already long since forgotten what it is, we can get now and escape with it. So maybe this was the shield, I don't know. If it is the shield, then it's probably worth the 10 seconds to go pick it up. Because I did remember that we picked up a shield somewhere. And then got stuck. It's the shield! So that ends up with the golden mirror shield, or whatever you call it. Yeah, mirror shield. That's pretty handy for Link to the Past. I don't know if it's worth a whole lot. Like, I don't remember generally getting a whole lot of value from shields in that game. But it's gotten. So let's check that off. Now, because I would like that hammer, I think we're going to go do that. Now, it shouldn't be very hard to get the hammer. I will save it, though. We could all... Oh, this is not save. Right, save's bottom right. Save before you go to the heat areas. That's just always your smart... Like, no matter what version of randomized Metroid or any kind of Super Metroid, if you're going to do hell runs through the heat with no Various suit, always save first. That's... I mean, I shouldn't have to say it. But the truth is, there's a really easy way to get the hammer just by going right here, so let's just go do that. As long as you've got the speed booster, like, this is not hard. This is not... I don't even know if I would consider this a hell run. Yeah, it's hot here, but we'll be out of the heat in, that room should take less than one energy tank, and then you're out of the heat. So you could get through that room with very low energy, probably even 0 energy tanks. Now this room is hot again, but conveniently, there's a free recharge station right here. So again, unless you've got no energy tanks, this route with the speed booster really isn't difficult. Now, I probably will kill Crocomire, but I'm just gonna go get the hammer first. Well, no, that's silly. Let's go kill the Croc. Let's go kill the Croc. while we're here, now we're totally... Well, you see it's yellow on the map. It's probably not mandatory... Oh, that's right, I don't have charge beam. It's probably not mandatory, or it's not in logic. But it's not very hard to do, I guess. Yellow means not that difficult, I guess, or kind of optionally in logic. I don't know, it's probably like hard mode logic, right? Red is you probably shouldn't be able to go here. Yellow is if you know some tricks you can get here, or if you're, I don't know, whatever. Words. You gotta be a little bit careful on Crocomire with no charge beam. Because he keeps walking forward, it can be a little bit difficult to push him back if you run out of ammo. Although you do regenerate ammo from his little bullets he shoots. Just not very often super missiles. Anyway, that's Crocodile. Yay! 20 rupees. Well, I feel pretty good about that. So we'll head down and do the traditional... you know what I mean. We'll go over there where you normally get the grapple beam and do this little route. And I'll come up, get the hammer, probably get the ice beam, you know, what normally is wherever whatever they give us where the ice beam usually is. But yeah, this area past Crocomire is not superheated, right? So as long as you got the speed booster, I feel like this is worth doing. Even if I think by default a normal mode randomized Super Metroid can't require... Oh look, this is a hot room, that's fun. But yeah, I don't think any hot rooms are included in logic, even if they're not really very hard. Because the normal hot room, the normal, whatever you call it, the normal route, that is to say, that you go through without the Various suit doesn't include the speed booster. Man, my words. We're already 41 minutes in. Wow. I just can't quit. I think what I'll do before we end the episode is this little loop-de-loop, because this really won't take very long. We'll check what we could get at the grapple beam and the other items that surround it. This kind of stuff. Look at that! Like a boss! I've been playing now for a couple hours straight. I feel like I'm starting to get a little bit of my Super Metroid skills and talents back. It's a slow go, but that one worked. Alright, so we got a couple items in here to pick up. Oh man, I nailed that one too. That's good. And then one of the more fiddly jumps, if you don't have high jump boots, that can be more difficult than you'd expect. Alright, grapple beam was a tempered sword. It's the wrong color. I mean, we are down in hell, basically, so that's a bit weird. But, alright, fastest way out. I don't know if the north route is actually faster. You need either the grapple beam or the gravity suit for this to really work easily. Grapple beam is the traditional, this is where they teach you how to use it, but I think between space jump, gravity, and screw attack, this won't be that difficult. You can make a lot of these jumps with clever wall jumping. But this one's pretty tough. That one right there. I'm not sure if you can do it without grapple, or gravity, or space, I mean, whatever. Space just means you can ignore 90% of the map. 90% of the traps. Alright, so we'll heal up a little bit because we're going to head into the lava. Well, not quite lava. You know what I mean. Alright. There's no way with 7 energy tanks and 2 or 3 reserves this is going to kill me. I will have to derp out so bad. And this should be very convenient for clearing Link to the Past, because not only will we have the Titan's Mitt, which makes getting around a lot better, we will also have the hammer now. And a better sword, thanks to killing Crocomire, which we didn't need to do. So killing Crocomire was pretty optional, we definitely didn't need to. Yeah, so I think this whole route would be quite doable with maybe 2 or 3 energy tanks if you're a little bit careful. Like, I didn't even go down below 2 drains, so I think you could have done that a lot smoother than I did it, and you could have picked that hammer up with the speed booster, I think, even with just 2 tanks, so... I know on the map it had them displayed as yellow, but, or whatever color that last one was there. But I don't see any real reason to not pick those up at this point in the game. Now, I'm going to have to end the episode here because time's running shy, but I'm also going to go to the Ice Beam and the last 2 yellow items in Norfair, and I might run over and check out a couple of Bubble Mountain items, because honestly, it's not going to be very hard because of the Speed Booster Power Bombs, and we can clear out the top right of Norfair while we're here. But there won't be a Varia suit up there, so all we'll be looking for is, like, Link to the Past items. Speaking of which, we do have the hammer and the better gloves. But, you know, maybe we'll find the Pegasus boots over there, which would really help speed that up, or the flute. So it might be worth going to have a look while we're sort of right by it, even without the Varia suit. Anyway, that's all for this episode. Thank you very much. I was pretty happy with this one, and we'll see how things go next time. So, see you there.